You know? Oh,
I
now
just
it's
turned
telling
on
me
the
you're
recording
recording.
because of what you were saying. I
Yeah, but
wanted
it's
it
too
to
late now.
record. That was just so, it was so great what you were just saying, but I didn't think it would announce it so you would hear it. Is there a way to silence the
I don't think so.
because that's a new feature of
I
Zoom.
know.
That's like
Yeah,
brand
yeah.
new.
It's because of all this drama about data safety and,
Uh,
you have to make people aware that they are being recorded and so on. Yeah,
yeah, the
anyway,
day
I
when we
don't
did
think.
this, Richard didn't hear it anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just sometimes it feels like it's so simple in the end, right? To
Yeah,
the feeling we're looking for is so simple, right? It's
so
just this,
simple.
yeah, just
And
being
it's
there.
so easy to miss it
Yeah,
because we're looking in a different direction for it.
yeah. That's the only thing, really, right? Because it's not even hard to find it. It's it's just that you're always looking in the wrong direction. Sorry, I really find that funny because every time I do remember to look into the right direction, or I'm somehow in the state of mind where I can, it's just so obvious and so simple. You're just sitting there, and you're part of life, and I don't even know what to say. It's just so simple. And 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 other times you're caught up in your mind and you just don't know what on earth to do to get out of it or to feel better or whatever. It's very weird, right?
You know what you're reminding me of? Yeah, it's fascinating. Right before coming on, I was listening to the Hawaii lectures,
Yeah.
and Sid made, when he's talking about the oneness,
Yeah.
he made such a point of what you're speaking to
Yeah.
now about the difference between the impersonal
Yeah.
and personal mind.
Yeah.
That really hit me. I
Mm,
think more, just now before coming on this hour,
mm.
I think that hit me more than it has in the past. Because
Yeah.
that's it. When you say looking in the right direction, is in the direction of the impersonal.
Mm,
It's not personal to Pallavi or to Lori or
mm,
whoever else. It's not, it's the oneness. It's knowing
mm,
the impersonal, knowing that, like you said, that everything turns out, it does somehow.
mm, mm.
We're all
Yeah.
safe. We're all secure. Stuff happens
Yeah.
and we find a way around it and we bounce back from it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I guess what you say, that's really the point, because from the personal you don't always feel safe because stuff doesn't happen how you want it, or your body isn't always safe, and it's really the safety and the being okay is more on a impersonal or on a spiritual level, right? Like,
Right.
I to me it's this thing also of, there's a big difference of defining myself as this person and this body, and in a way then I'm never safe because you know everything can happen. But the moment I define myself as the consciousness that's living inside of this body for a certain time, then I'm always safe. So that's
Right.
that's quite a difference. So
Boy, that's really it in a nutshell, isn't it?
yeah,
The
in a way.
spiritual, looking in the direction of the impersonal, spiritual nature of all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, wow. I'm glad I turned the record. We missed some of the discussion. That was wonderful, but we captured a really good part. But yeah, I think the more people see this impersonal nature of life, the value,
Yeah.
because we don't see it, it's invisible.
Yeah, I think the funny thing is also, the more you look there, it seems the more even your personal life turns out easier, and like you say, like you meet people from out of nowhere and all these things happen. So that's the kind of interesting contradictory thing about it, if you let go of it and just go back into the impersonal and trust into, like you said, like the river of life, or let nature takes its course, it also takes care of all your personal needs and but we I'm so stuck in my idea of how it has to go, and also even like, when I'm looking for a new employee for my shop or something like that, I have these ideas of who it's supposed to be and how I'm going to find him and blah blah blah, and you get so stuck into that. But the moment you just let it go and open up and look for inspiration of what life brings to you, somebody might show up from a totally different direction, or you know what I mean? It's like we are
Absolutely.
often so focused that you don't even see all the possibilities that show up.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Do you get a sense that, when Sid talked about balancing, harmonizing, he used
Mm,
the word harmonizing, big mind with little mind.
mm,
I think that's really what we're talking about here.
yeah.
Like recognizing big mind, invisible, um, formless, spiritual nature of life, the impersonal,
Mm,
that when you really value that, you see how, like you say, it automatically has a positive effect on our personal lives
yeah. Yeah.
in the physical realm,
Yeah.
the part of us that walks around, the
Yeah.
physical.
Yeah, and it's a bit tricky, but because I don't think it means that your life will only be sunshine and rainbows. You might still have symptoms or challenges, but all in all, it seems to get into a nice flow or feeling, or you have the resources to deal with the challenges. Like, like there might still be problems, but the suffering gets less, and it gets more of an adventure or of a game or something like that. It gets less serious, and it gets another quality, right?
Perfect. Perfectly described. Yeah, I love that description.
Mhm.
It's so true that maybe the challenges of life really are rainbows and sunshine also.
Yeah,
You know what I
maybe.
mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
look at how much we learn from the challenges of life. And yeah, when we're in the midst of it,
Yeah,
we may not recognize that. But look
yeah,
what happens when you look back
yeah.
on challenges you've had, and now they're just stories that you tell somebody, something awful that happened 20 years ago, like when I
Yeah.
lost everything, all my worldly belongings during a trip out to the West Coast. I
You did?
literally lost all my worldly belongings
Really?
in my 20s. I had my
Oh,
car packed to the gills with everything I was bringing with me. And then
really?
I 5 days later, I get to my destination in San Francisco Bay Area, and I stay at my only friend out there at the time. And this dates back to 1978.
Yeah.
And I go out in the morning to get my toothbrush or whatever I needed for the morning. And I thought I was dreaming. The car was empty, empty.
God. Really?
Look at how it's so funny telling it
Talk,
all these years later. It was not funny at the time.
no, but
I
talk
mean,
about a fresh start, right?
talk about a fresh start. No kidding.
Amazing.
There's more to this fresh start. I had 3 boxes of winter clothing packed in a friend's family's factory to send to me when I had a new address in San Francisco. I got my new address, I sent for my belongings, and I never got them. So it's really literally a fresh start. You hear about people who come to a new country with a dime.
Yeah,
It was kind of like that.
unbelievable.
I had the
Crazy.
clothes on my back.
Crazy. Wow. Wow. I mean,
And
that's
you
cool,
wonder, you look back on these things and you
Yeah.
think, how did I go through that? And I have
Yeah.
no memory of hardship.
Yeah.
To me, it is absolutely a story now.
Yeah. No.
And it's a funny story.
It is.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
In fact,
totally.
so my friend says to me, well, I guess we have to call the police. I
Mm,
don't know what we thought the police were going to do. They
yeah.
said, well, go to the local flea market. This was before I had ever been to any flea market.
Okay.
Any flea market you have ever been to, Pallavi, I bet is not as big as the flea market we went to in San Francisco. It's like 5 football fields.
Oh my God.
And I looked at my friend Joanne and she looked at me and we said, well, I guess we're not retrieving those items.
Maybe we just buy new stuff better, right?
Buy new stuff.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my
That's
God, what a
crazy.
story. But you know, it's those things that really make us stronger, that we realize what we're
Yeah.
capable of getting past.
Yeah. No, I think so too. I mean, I sometimes find it hard because there's really a lot of stuff going on in the world and people are really going through, like through so much really tough things. But I also kind of realize that it doesn't make sense to think about it when you're not in the situation because, like there's so much stuff going on and you can't try to think about all of it and be in peace with it because it's not my life and not my situation. I kind of understand better now that I can only be at peace with what's going on for me right now, and it doesn't make sense to go in this kind of mind that tries to think, yeah, but what would I do if this or that would happen, and could I deal with that?
Mhm.
I it's for me it's very important to realize that that's a trick of the mind. It's a kind of stupid future imaginary mind, and it doesn't work that way. You can't make peace with an imagined future. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
tried that for a long time, I think. And yeah, it only gets you in a very busy state of mind. And yeah.
yeah, yeah.
To the balancing of the divine and personal mind, like in the end I really think the personal mind is not so important as I think. I think we made it way bigger than it's maybe supposed to be. Like sometimes Sid talks about that the real purpose of the mind is just to be an empty thing of of life coming through and observing what is. And maybe the mind gives you the ability to talk about stuff like we do. And but I sometimes feel like we make it so big, like so important, every thought and everything.
Right,
And
right.
yeah.
It's what gets all of us in trouble
Yeah.
when we put so much emphasis
Yeah.
on the personal,
Yeah.
on what's going on. And we're misinterpreting most of it anyway,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I see that so much in the couples I work with.
Oh yeah, I can
You know,
imagine.
one takes
In
offense and the other one
relationships.
is scratching their head. Well, what are you taking offense to? Because
Yeah.
nothing I said, here come the weed whackers or out. Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Boy, we could go on forever in a
Yeah.
day, but I
I
know
do
you
see.
said you had something
Yeah.
somewhere you had to be like a half an hour ago, I think.
No, only 5 minutes ago. I will jump
Oh,
on there
okay.
now. It's all good.
Okay.
So nice to talk with you, Lori.
I know. You too, Pallavi, always. Yeah. All right. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, see, so we say you will post which time it is, right? And
I'll post it. We're going to go
yeah.
back to the old time. Yeah.
Okay, so basically this time we did now, right?
We must have needed a one-to-one session. That
Yeah.
must have been.
Yeah. Looks
And
like it.
yes, we'll be starting at this time now.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
you got it. Have a great
Have a
day.
Yeah, have a lovely week. See you soon. Sorry that I can't be there on Saturday, probably. But I will